within QuickBooks Online. Here we are. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. In our S-Corp paid payroll file, we're going to go down to the reports on the left side. We're going to run our favorite report, that being the balance sheet report, the financial statement report. We'll change the dates up top to the year of 2019 of 01/01/19 to 12/31/19, January through December 2019. The most basic journal entry for payroll we would think would be to decrease the checking account and record payroll expense. Those are going to be the first two accounts we'll look at. So we're going to go into the checking account and see what we have. All we have are paychecks at this time, and we're going to go down to the one we just processed, the latest check, that being for $3,310.74 as opposed to the prior check, $3,330.52. Note this is the net check that is being paid, not the gross pay. Let's take a look at the difference between these net checks. So we have the net check prior to this 3330.52 minus the 3310.74. That's going to give us 1978 being the difference. The new item we added was vision insurance, and we paid $25 for it. So this 1978, why is that different? Because not only did we take out the 25, but we got a bit of a benefit in terms of the taxes that were lowered for that 25. So we got tax benefit with relation to federal income tax, Social Security, and Medicare. So we'll see that as we go. So then we're going to scroll back up. We're going to go back to our report summary. This is the net check. The other side is typically thought of on the income statement as the expense side. So to see that, we'll right-click on this tab, duplicate that tab. We're going to pull the left tab to the right side, then go to the reports down below on the left. Take a look at the profit and loss report. So selecting the profit and loss report and changing the dates up top from 01/01/19, 12/31/19. That's January through December 2019. Run that report. And then we're going to consider the wages side. This is the wages, not the employer taxes. If we select that, $20,312. We see our current check, $4,062. It's the gross check. That's the gross amount. Notice the gross amount hasn't changed. We've been adding things. We added dental insurance last time. Now we added the vision. That's because the gross check is what it is, and we took the vision out of the gross check, and the change related to the payroll taxes also being taken out, or adjusting those differences in the gross check to get to the net check. So now we're going to scroll back up top and go back to the report summary. The difference between the gross check and net check is going to be back on the balance sheet. If we go back to the balance sheet, it'll be reported in the liability owed that we took from the employees. We've got the federal taxes. That's going to be a liability that we have to pay. So it's going to be increasing the federal taxes for federal income taxes, Social Security, and Medicare. We see here that in 531, the federal taxes overall, again, are less. And part of that is due to the fact that we paid the insurance for the eye insurance, the vision insurance, and that reduced the taxable amount, the taxable income amount that we calculated FIT and Social Security and Medicare on. So we're paying slightly less in large proportion to, or exclusively for, that reason between the prior paycheck and this paycheck. That not being the difference between the prior two paychecks when we had the dental insurance. The prior paycheck, this paycheck in March not having dental, this having dental. We chose different payroll options for the dental versus the vision, and it didn't have an impact here. Now this check, we do have an impact with the vision because we chose different options for it. We're going to scroll back up top. We're going to go back to our report summary. The other side then, if we go back to the second tab, for the income statement is for taxes. These are taxes that we paid, the employer taxes. That's what the taxes are for payroll taxes from the employee perspective. And these are going to be the taxes that are paid. And here's our last tax that will be paid. This is Social Security and Medicare, or includes Social Security, Medicare for the employer side. And notice again, it's a little bit different. Why? Because the Social Security and Medicare, once again, were affected. So that's going to affect the employer taxes as well. And then if we scroll back up, and notice that wasn't the case last time with the dental insurance. So if we scroll back up and go back to our report, Then we'll go back to the balance sheet. The other side of that, back to the balance sheet, is included once again in the liabilities. So the liabilities are going to be something that are paid here. This includes the employer and employee portion. Also note we have the liability for the 401k plan that's being taken out, and then the California taxes owed, the dental, and now the new vision. So this is the new thing. There's only been one paycheck that has this vision of the 25 that is now something that we pulled out, as we did with the dental, which we now owe to the vendor, whoever we need to pay for the eye insurance, the vision insurance. Next, we're going to take a look at reports. So we're going to go to the second tab, duplicate it by right-clicking on it and duplicate it. We're going to pull the one from the left to the right. So now we have the balance sheet, profit and loss, new tab. And then we're going to go to the reports on the left side, go down to our payroll reports. Within the payroll reports, we want to look at the payroll detail report. We'll select the payroll detail report. And then we're going to change the date. I'm going to look at the full year of 2019, which is this year for me. We'll select that item and check out the detail. So here's our current check, $3,310 for the latest pay period. This is the prior pay period. We see that difference between the two. Part of that difference being related to the fact that we now have the vision insurance, which is the $25 versus no $25 prior to that. But also, if we take a look at the taxes last time, or this time, are $145.10 versus $147.10 for the federal income tax. Social Security employee portion, slightly lower than last time. That's because of the impact of this 25. Then we've got the Medicare, slightly lower. And we could see that same items on the employer side, of course, the Medicare and Social Security matching, and therefore the employer taxes being slightly lower for Social Security and Medicare as well. So, and of course, these items aren't included in this difference. This is the difference for the net check, the employee stuff. These items were paid over and above, but we also see a difference in the tax liability here that the employer would pay as well. Now note, if we go to the reports on the left side, to the taxes on the left side, and we look at the federal tax forms, we can't really process any payroll tax forms at this time just because of the date at which we're entering this data. So if we look at the 941, we can't really go through a whole year's worth of work because we're limited. But if you're working this problem later on in a particular year, you may then have access to look at a different quarter here and see how the different quarters will match up. We have access only because of the timing that we're entering this problem to the first quarter. If you're later on in the year, maybe you have access to later quarters and can enter more information within this current year, which would be nice. If you're in some future year, then you may have similar restrictions. So just note that you will have those restrictions whenever you're using a comprehensive problem with QuickBooks Online, because of course the nature of QuickBooks Online is assuming we're entering information real time, which usually we are, but in a practice problem, we want to jump forward so that we can see how these things will affect everything in an entire year or entire quarter. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.